Forget bright magic and noble quests. This is the shadowy side of fantasy. We're diving into worlds where monsters lurk in alleyways, angels wear human skin, and every spell comes with a price. These are the dark, the gothic, and the gloriously twisted shows that go places others fear to. If you're ready to get obsessed, this list is for you. Number 10. Penny, Dreadful, City of Angels.
When we're back in Mexico?
In this life.
Set in 1938, Los Angeles, City of Angels blends gothic horror, supernatural politics, and historical unrest in a series that's both visually rich and thematically dense. A spiritual spin-off of the original Penny Dreadful, this show trades Victorian London for the sun-scorched streets of LA, where demons walk in human form and racial tensions boil over. Natalie Dormer delivers a standout performance as Magda, a shape-shifting agent of chaos pulling strings across multiple identities. The story follows two detectives entangled in a murder mystery that spirals into Nazi conspiracies, Mexican folklore, and clashes between good and evil on a cosmic scale. It ran for one season with 10 episodes and was canceled in 2020. Ambitious, flawed, but fascinating. This one deserves a closer look for dark fantasy fans craving something different. Number 9. Grimm, Prime Video.
Okay, I wasn't wearing boots.
This is no fairy tale. The stories are real. You have to hunt down the bad ones.
Part crime procedural, part dark fairy tale. Grimm is one of the most inventive fantasy series to ever hit network TV. The story follows Portland homicide detective Nick Burkhart, who discovers he's a Grimm, a guardian sworn to keep the balance between humans and mythological creatures called Wesson, as he dives deeper into a secret world of folklore, monsters, and ancient bloodlines. Nick's reality twists into something far darker and stranger than he ever imagined. The show blends gritty police drama with haunting fantasy, offering a moody and suspenseful atmosphere. It ran for 6 seasons from 2011 to 2017, totaling 123 episodes. As the stakes escalate, so does the mythology, making it a hidden gem for anyone who loves supernatural noir. It's dark, thrilling, and criminally overlooked. Number 8. True Blood, Hulu. Forget sparkly vampires. True Blood is raw, raunchy, and soaked in Southern Gothic grit. This HBO series ran for 7 seasons, 2008 to 2014, delivering a darkly seductive world where vampires live openly among humans, thanks to a synthetic blood substitute called True Blood. Anna Paquin leads as Sookie Stackhouse, a telepathic waitress whose romance with a centuries-old vampire drags her into a world of supernatural chaos, complete with shapeshifters, witches, werewolves, and ancient vampire politics. From backwoods cults to blood-drenched orgies, True Blood pushes boundaries while exploring themes of identity, prejudice, and desire. It lost steam in later seasons, but the first few years are an intoxicating mix of horror, camp, and political allegory. Stylish, steamy, and unapologetically weird. This one earns its cult status. Number 7. Lucifer, Hulu.
People like to tell me things. Those deep, dark, naughty little desires.
Lucifer is a supernatural crime drama centered on Lucifer Morningstar, the devil himself, who abandons his throne in hell to run a high-end nightclub in Los Angeles. Bored with his immortal duties, he begins assisting LAPD detective Chloe Decaire in solving murders, using his unique ability to draw out people's deepest desires. As the series unfolds, Lucifer grapples with questions of identity, love, redemption, and his place in the universe. Based on a DC Comics character created by Neil Gaiman, the show blends crime procedural with dark comedy, fantasy, and emotional depth. Tom Ellis delivers a standout performance as the charming and conflicted anti-hero. Originally aired on Fox, the series was revived and concluded by Netflix over 6 seasons, earning a passionate fan base and critical acclaim in later seasons. Number 6. Carnival Row, Prime Video. A neo-noir fantasy packed with myth, murder, and steampunk style, Carnival Row explores a divided city where fey creatures flee war only to face prejudice and political oppression. Orlando Bloom stars as Philo, a half-fey inspector unraveling brutal killings tied to an ancient evil, while Cara Delevingne plays Vignette, a fiery fairy caught between rebellion and love. The show blends dark fantasy with timely allegory, addressing class, race, and immigration through a Gothic lens. Visually lush and thematically rich, it crafts a moody world of cobbled streets, gas lamps, and winged refugees struggling to survive. It ran for 2 seasons, 2019 to 2023, concluding with a high-stakes second chapter filled with revolution and heartbreak. Though not without flaws, Carnival Row earns its place with bold world-building and an unforgettable Gothic atmosphere. Number 5. The Sandman, Netflix.
I'm not gonna stop.
Based on Neil Gaiman's acclaimed comic, The Sandman is a rich Gothic odyssey through dreams, nightmares, and the fragile boundary between reality and myth. Tom Sturridge stars as Dream, also known as Morpheus, the immortal ruler of the dreaming, who escapes captivity after a century and sets out to reclaim his power and restore his realm. Along the way, he encounters gods, demons, serial killers, and other endless, immortal beings like death, desire, and despair. With stunning visuals and haunting performances, the series blends horror, fantasy, and existential philosophy in a tone both poetic and unsettling. It premiered in 2022 and currently has 2 seasons, with the second one that dropped in early July. If you like your fantasy cerebral, eerie, and deeply human, The Sandman is an instant classic that lingers like a dream you can't shake. Number 4. Carnival, Maximum.
No matter how terrible.
Set against the Dust Bowl backdrop of 1930s America, Carnival spins a surreal tale of divine forces locked in a slow-burning war. At the heart of it is Ben Hawkins, a young man with mysterious healing powers who joins a traveling carnival, and brother Justin, a charismatic preacher plagued by apocalyptic visions. Their fates are intertwined as they edge toward a cosmic confrontation between good and evil. With haunting visuals, period-accurate detail, and deeply layered mythology, Carnival unfolds like a fever dream, steeped in Gnostic lore and Christian mysticism. It ran for 2 seasons, 2003 to 2005, before its planned 6-season arc was tragically cut short by cancellation. Despite its abrupt end, the show remains a cult classic, dark, symbolic, and unlike anything else to ever air on TV. Number 3. Castlevania, Netflix. A blood-soaked Gothic anime with teeth, Castlevania reimagines the classic video game saga into a brutal, emotionally rich fantasy epic. When Dracula unleashes hell on Earth after the murder of his human wife, a trio of unlikely heroes, monster hunter Trevor Belmont, sorceress Sypha Belnades, and Dracula's conflicted son Alucard, rise to challenge his reign. The series blends sharp dialogue, grim world-building, and savage action, wrapped in a lush, hand-drawn aesthetic dripping with atmosphere. Beneath the gore and fangs lies a story about grief, corruption, and the blurry line between monsters and men. It ran for 4 seasons, 2017 to 2021, and concluded with a satisfying finale, later spawning a sequel series. Whether you're into dark magic or philosophical vampires, Castlevania is a visceral triumph that elevated adult animation to new, blood-drenched heights. Number 2. Penny Dreadful, Prime Video. A dark, decadent fusion of horror literature and Victorian drama, Penny Dreadful resurrects monsters from classic Gothic fiction and gives them tragic new life. Set in 1890s London, the series follows Vanessa Ives, Eva Green, a haunted spiritualist caught in a battle between heaven and hell. She joins forces with explorer Malcolm Murray, American gunslinger Ethan Chandler, and Dr. Frankenstein himself to combat vampires, witches, and demons, both literal and personal. The show masterfully reimagines characters like Dorian Gray, Dracula, and the Creature with poetic depth and psychological intensity. It ran for 3 seasons, 2014 to 2016, with 27 episodes, ending in a bold and emotionally devastating finale. Visually lush, operatic, and steeped in myth, Penny Dreadful is essential Gothic fantasy, equal parts literary love letter and nightmare. Number 1. Supernatural, Netflix. Dark, stylish, and surprisingly emotional, Supernatural became a phenomenon by turning classic Americana into Gothic myth. It follows brothers Sam and Dean Winchester as they crisscross backroads in a '67 Chevy Impala, hunting demons, ghosts, angels, and gods. What begins as a Monster of the Week show evolves into an epic saga about fate, family, and sacrifice, with stakes that range from personal tragedy to cosmic warfare. The series is steeped in religious symbolism, urban legends, and rock and roll, often blending humor with existential dread. Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles ground the show with chemistry and heart. Supernatural ran for 15 seasons, 2005 to 2020, making it the longest-running American fantasy series. Love it or not, its legacy is undeniable. This is Gothic fantasy at its most sprawling, soulful, and unforgettable. And there you have it, 10 Gothic fantasy series that crawl out of the shadows and sink their claws into your imagination. From doomed romances to ancient curses and creatures that haunt more than just your dreams, these shows prove that fantasy doesn't always wear shining armor. It sometimes drips in blood and sorrow. If even one show gave you chills, or hit your watch list, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a deep dive into TV's darker corners. Know a twisted, underrated fantasy series we missed? Drop it in the comments. I'm always hunting for the next obsession. Until next time, stay haunted, stay curious, and as always, I'll see you on the couch.